Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into the Book of Leviticus, the third book of the Pentateuch in the Old Testament. Leviticus is often viewed as a manual for priests and the people of Israel, providing regulations on worship, sacrifice, and holy living. Let's explore its core themes. Leviticus can be divided into key sections: instructions on different types of offerings, the ordination of Aaron and his sons as priests, guidelines for clean and unclean animals, bodily discharges, and skin diseases, a special observance for atonement of sin, ethical and moral guidelines for living as God's chosen people, regulations regarding vows and the redemption of consecrated property. Leviticus begins with detailed instructions on sacrifices, including burnt offerings, grain offerings, peace offerings, sin offerings, and guilt offerings. Each type of sacrifice had a specific purpose and symbolism: total consecration to God, thankfulness for God's provision, celebratory occasions, communal meals, atonement for unintentional sin, reparation for wrongdoing. These rituals served to maintain a relationship between God and his people, emphasizing the necessity of atonement and sacrifice in worship. Chapters 8 to 10 focus on the consecration of Aaron and his sons as priests. This high calling required them to adhere strictly to God's commands. The installation ceremony included anointing, sacrifices, and a dedication to the service of God. Tragically, the story of Nadab and Abihu, who offered unauthorized fire before the Lord, serves as a sobering reminder of the holiness of God and the seriousness of approaching him improperly. Leviticus outlines the laws of purity, separating the clean from the unclean. This includes only certain animals were deemed clean for consumption, establishing dietary restrictions. Regulations regarding purity after childbirth and bodily emissions, emphasizing the idea of cleanliness in community life. Guidelines for identifying and managing leprosy and other skin conditions, indicating both physical and communal health. These laws were not just about health. They symbolized spiritual purity and the need to remain set apart for God. Chapter 16 details the Day of Atonement, a critical annual event. The high priest would enter the Holy of Holies, offering sacrifices for both himself and the people of Israel. This day included the scapegoat ritual, where one goat carried the sins of the community into the wilderness, signifying their removal before God. It illustrated profound themes of atonement and the need for divine forgiveness. In chapters 17 to 26, the Holiness Code reflects God's call for holiness among his people. Key commandments address various aspects of daily life, including emphasizing ethical behavior and community support, guidelines regarding relationships and family structure, establishing times for communal worship and remembrance of God's provision. The repeated call to be holy as God is holy underscores the theme of living in a way that reflects God's character. In conclusion, Leviticus offers a rich tapestry of God's laws that highlight the importance of holiness, community, and worship. It teaches us about the seriousness of sin, the necessity of atonement, and God's desire for his people to live according to his will. As we navigate these ancient texts, we recognize their lasting significance for understanding God's nature and our relationship with him. Appreciate you staying with us through the Book of Leviticus. For more deep dives into God's laws and how they shape our lives today, like and subscribe to John chapter 3, verse 17. Let's grow in faith and understanding together.